Okay, so there's already a lot going on. We're only into the third week of January, and things are not looking so good as inflation and COVID-related stuff is all just starting to get a lot worse. For futures, March SPY puts are getting loaded up due to tapering. Like all you're seeing everywhere with the sweeps that are coming out are SPY puts. Everyone is practically betting on the fact that the market is about to crash. Bank earnings weren't even that impressive. All of this first few weeks has just been major anticipations on all the big banks talking about their earnings. And usually during inflation times, banks are the ones that try to make the most money because they're trying to save money and invest it in places that might help save trouble from inflation. Didn't look like it worked out too well. So everything wasn't all that impressive. Nothing insane happening on this calendar week in terms of any important speakers. A couple earnings, but the real interesting part is some of the business moves that have actually occurred this week. So here are some key points to keep in mind. We got SPY trying to reclaim 465, but I saw it as soon as it hit 4 a.m. SPY just dipped down from 464 to 459. So not looking so good. Very unfortunate too, because at the beginning of this week, it all looked pretty nice, and then now it's just not looking that good at all. Same for QQQ. Tech isn't really doing all that well, although we will see something about AMD really soon. GameStop and Net, which is information here for anyone that's watching any of that. Tesla, especially right here, needs to hold 1050 to see 1090, and if it's going to make this gap fill, then I definitely want to make sure I'm part of that. One stock a lot of you guys may not really be doing much on is LRCX. Very interesting stock. Traded up 6.2% during market hours, but it was down just a tad bit after hours. On the daily time frame, it showed strength overall and within its own sector, managed to close a strong bullish engulfing candle, handing into their earnings on Wednesday. So you can see this big, powerful green candle, bringing it back up to its 7.998, so 730 basically, right? Now, personally, I'm seeing this actually dipping at some point. So I'm going to be watching this very closely, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on what people are saying is going to happen, what everyone else is thinking is going to happen. But I'm just going to be watching this for now because it's already made quite a very impressive price movement to begin with. Last week, Netflix also had a lot of chit chat. Stock traded up 1.25% during market hours. Nothing insane. However, it was dipping. It's been falling, right? So it's been falling for quite a while. Um, Overall downtrend has continued. During last Friday, Netflix popped up on news after they announced raising their streaming fees, but the pop was sold off, right? So a lot of sell-offs happened on Friday. It was pretty bad. Things were just starting to go, 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 and then all of a sudden just backfire and fall back down. So that was pretty lame and very unfortunate. Um, so this Netflix knifing has been pretty scary, but I believe everyone is saying that Netflix is now at support, right? So the previous earnings report ended up flat after hours, but ran up following days from lows. Treat earning play as a lotto. It's a coin flip. Earning plays are always a coin flip, so I make sure not to really get into them. I like to join after seeing what happened, right? So like if the earning made a dip, then you try buying it because it might be making a recovery over the next few weeks. If an earning made it really fly and soar up a good like 10, 20, or $30, you just wait until it simmers back down. Usually what happens is after earnings are announced, usually some of these are closing time earnings, so it's near the end of the day. After earnings are announced, it just pops off, goes up a good heavy amount, but then by the next day, it comes back to where it began. So nothing insane. Already spoke about Tesla, right? So we can see it's trying to make a pattern right here, and we're going to be watching it to try to see if we can catch it breaking above 1051. That's the alert you want to set up. Amazon, another one, it traded up just 0.5% during market hours. On the daily time frame, it's found buyers sitting at the 3200 level to prevent Amazon from moving back to its lows of last Monday. Amazon continues to be difficult to trade after failing to break back above the daily overall trend line since falling 3343 level. On the weekly time frame, it's still a long-legged doji, which shows an indecision on which direction Amazon wants to move, but we can see the weekly 100 MA as a possible bounce if it decides to move lower with the overall market. Personally, I'm going to be watching this. As soon as I see it start making good power jumps upwards, you wait for a little pullback and then you join in as soon as that's done. Facebook, we have to see how that does today. Another big player, right? So Facebook actually has earnings coming up. Stock traded up just a tad bit on the daily time frame. It continues this daily downward trend with SPY, of course. The easier trade would be above 342 to test 350. So you want to kind of catch calls from 342 to 350. But definitely want to keep it a day trade. A lot of people are making long-term trades, but you should wait for the earnings report. After earnings, you can consider that. So what happened today, and I just announced it, was basically that there's two big things. One, Microsoft bought ATVI, so ATVI jumped up like crazy. And then, of course, Samsung is trying to team up with AMD. As we know, Samsung doesn't really have um, stocks in America, right? So it's not a company that's listed on the stock market in America. But if it starts teaming up with AMD, so we can see something promising. And of course, Ford also has news. Right? So you can see right here, Cadence Design Systems aims to cash in on new custom chip era. Ford turnaround outpaces the automotive market. Ford is really, really being impressive with what it's trying to do. Even though it's opened lower today, it's high. It's crazy high, right? It's up big time on the 3 months. It's up 60%. For the year, it's up 150%. And I'm personally predicting that Ford by the end of the year is going to be $100 stock, or at least by the time they release their EV. So it's one that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. Cisco, I always like to watch. This company has had multiple instances of going 100% on contracts, especially after dips. So you can see it's kind of like double bottoming right here, right? And we want to catch it on its way back to 64. So if it falls more, great. If it doesn't, we'll just see what happens by the time the next earnings come around. Things I'm holding, I'm trying to get rid of B Square, MetX. I just keep picking them up um, as they hit lows, and they've been pretty damn low lately. So as they hit lows, you keep picking more and averaging down, and then sell as it goes up. Right, that's the name of the game right there. I wanted to look at AMD real quick. So AMD right here was the page for it. Okay, not the not the calls. Let's just look at the stock itself. SPY and QQQ are looking terrible right now. So it's pretty unfortunate, but you really don't want to trade when SPY and QQQ look terrible. That's usually a sign that the market's going to be pretty unpredictable. You want to wait for a good momentum, a time when things are moving in a solid direction and you know that's the direction it's going to move in. Right, so we don't know that direction right now, so we don't trade. We just wait and watch. Just let everything load up. It slows down, especially when I'm streaming. But generally speaking, what was the company that Ford is now? Ford. Where did I write it? Oh, right here, yeah. Continuation of recent news that Ford will use Stripe's services to boost its e-commerce services like vehicle ordering, reservations, and charging services. Previously, they had their services for what do you call it? Pre-ordering the EV F-150. Now the EV F-150 is no longer open for pre-ordering because it filled up. Literally everyone wants one, so they're probably looking to expand on that, get more pre-orders in, which would of course help them continue with their building of cars. With 15 minutes left to go, so far everything just looks like it's just dipping. All right, so it's like one of those days you just better put on anything and you'll probably go up big time. Zom actually has 34 cents right now. Zom, okay, all right, cool. So this is at least moving upwards. That's pretty good. Right, so I need to get rid of this, right? So 6 ounce shares at 35.65. That needs to go. So this, I mean, I personally just want to see it go over 60 cents already, but it's taking some power to do that. B square, I've been averaging down like crazy. This average was almost $8 at a time. But I keep buying and selling, buying and selling. And the last I have is I bought 100 at 1.66. It's even below that. So we'll see what we do with that today. See what that. Uh, Nikola, I've been watching because it's pretty fun. So Nikola randomly has its days where it'll just spike up. And when it does, you can wait for it to hit whatever top it's going to hit and then buy puts and just buy long-term puts, not like for the next day. You can see it's pretty much a roller coaster ride, you know. And it's pretty confirmed it's going to come down because Nikola is not really one that gets pumped or something that crazy. Now, if we go over to our bar chart over here to see what's popping today and what's got the most volume and whatnot, um, we're going to see most likely, I'm sure ATVI is going to be up here somewhere. Let's see. I didn't get to look at ATVI either. Let me look that up real quick. ATVI. Yep. Activision Blizzard. Made all the fun video games we've all been playing since we were kids. And with Microsoft taking it, you can already imagine what's going to happen with that and the Xbox and whatnot. That's a really, really big power move. Anyone that predicted something like this, big time, profited, right? Those calls are printing very heavily. Of course, no one should have been able to predict that. Otherwise, they're going to have the SEC watching them very closely. I have one open for Microsoft here. AMD, NVIDIA. Okay, so let's get Microsoft on the same. There you go. Microsoft, on the other hand, of course, being the buyer, is the one that's not going to be really having much money, but they're the one that are worth the investment right now. They're the power company right here. If you want to see how this does, see that they have so much room, right, to go back towards that 350. And now with this massive power play of buying Blizzard, ATVI. All right, so here, of course, no surprise, BBIG is at the top and ATVI is here, as I said it should be. Roblox has news also, so they're also up here. I'm assuming a lot of tech companies must be looking into the world of video games with how people are kind of stuck at home, so there's not much else to really do. Um, but BBIG has been moving up since last week. Like they've more than doubled already, and it's not a very quick mover either. So it's one you can join in and enjoy. I did alert it, I believe. Let me see. Uh, oh yeah, the Odyssey plays. Here we go. I alerted it. 4.57, 4.5. I can easily see this going on, right? So this is going to keep going. It's 4.7 right now. It looks pretty good. Most likely going to keep going. You see, just over the week, it's gone up from 218 to 468. To double your money in a week, that's pretty impressive, right? And it looks like it has good momentum, so it's probably going to keep going. It's got a lot of volume still, so that's all good. Roblox has news. They're releasing some numbers or something. Let's take a look at that real quick. Stock is advancing into the metaverse, right? Joining Facebook, basically. Yeah, so I want to see it reclaim its really good numbers, right? So it's almost, yeah, there you go. There was this time it just started jumping like crazy. November 5th to 9th, it went up like crazy, and then in another 2 or 3 weeks, 135. It hasn't gone below its IPO price at all. You can see that. That's a really big statement to not really go down below your IPO price. Very rarely seen. talking about below IPO price, Hood is getting wrecked. In the era of memes and Reddit, Robinhood really should have been smarter about going public. Just wasn't the right idea. Just was not the right idea. They're drowning. Look at that. $15. Look, what the heck? That's so sad. That's disgusting. Only after opening they had a bit of a spike, of course, but sentiments, man. People hate Robinhood. It's a terrible trading system. Honestly, I only use it because it's easy to stream with it. There's no personal information on here. Majority of my actual trading, I do it on webull. I mean, that's actually open from 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can't even trade on this until, honestly, just about market time, you know. And trading options here and a bunch of other systems that they have set up is really bad. Really bad. Trading options is so bad here because it's just so delayed. There's just it's all about making themselves money, which of course, everyone wants to make money. So every time you try to trade options on Robinhood, majority of the time you're just ending up helping them because they're going to take what you're trying to predict and then make money off of that. It's a pretty wild algorithm, but there's a bunch of YouTube videos about how Robinhood makes money. Now, in hopes of some good news, I had picked up SPY 470 calls that expired today. That's obviously not going to go too well. So upon buying it, it did jump. So I bought it at 51 cents, right? And then from the 51 cents I bought it at, it went to 68. So I couldn't sell it at that point, and then after that it dipped. Today I'm imagining it's going to dip a lot more. Unless SPY tries to make some wild upwards movement, but it's not looking that good, right? So this needs to refresh. Whether it's going to be SPY puts today or not, that's a different story. I wouldn't want to buy puts on SPY just yet. Not just yet. We're gonna have to wait and see. But if you look at it, like it's been crazy lately, right? So look at the dips, right? Some positive movement, then boom, fall. Then some positive movement, fall again. Strong positive movement, fall again. It's really, really shaky lately. Not what we like to see at all, ever. So upon opening, this is definitely gonna dip a lot more. Since SPY dipped, it was at 465, dipped down $5 whole. But after opening, if it's gonna move up or not, that's a different story. We're gonna have to wait and watch. Looking at my power stocks in the last 5 minutes, let's see how they're looking like as the day comes to an open. Oh, and another flaw on Robinhood is the Robinhood options watch list does not work. Does not work. At least not for me. It's terrible. It'll show you that, oh, look, this went up like 200% out of nowhere. And then when you try buying it, it actually just falls down in price. It's all a lie. It's bullshit. All right, so here we are with the power stocks. Let's see. Is anyone looking good? Even Google is down big. Wow. Okay, T2 is looking very happy. Check. Take-Two Interactive is looking very happy. Up 3%. That's a pretty bold move in an era of everyone just getting shat on. Datadog down almost 3.6%. EA Games, wow, up 6%. That's massive. That's pretty massive. Alright. That's generally it. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Why? Why are these two looking so happy? My goal today or this week in general is to catch something that allows me to put the whole 20K into it confidently and once the contract or the play in general go 100% or more and double that. Time to hit that 100K before the January month of January ends. Time to hit that 100K account balance. Okay, so 3 minutes in, we can already see 3 minutes away from opening market. We can already see everything's looking really shitty. Pretty much everything's dipped hardcore. Crypto is looking dead as heck, just as it's been. SPY looks like it'll probably fall further after opening. So these calls, this call is probably going to go to zero, which is okay because I only got one contract anyway, so it's about $51, no big deal. It was not a confident play, obviously, so I only got one contract. This is gonna hit pretty hard, but well, no, actually, it's not gonna hit that hard at all. It's just buy. It's just one contract, go to zero, no big deal. Now we need to watch for what's the big play to make. So let me move this over to here, so I can see this and my stock screen at the same time. Let's see what people are saying to get it. I'm gonna be trading live today, so you guys can see the action. Let's see what you see this upstart thing. You see this? This is the contract that's not working. That's the contract that's not working. It says it's up 690%. Yeah, right, man. That's a lie. And then when you try selling it, of course, it just doesn't want to sell. So let's say I want to sell 10 of them at even 12 cents. I'm just gonna put 12 cents. That's it. I submit. Let's see what happens. Boom. See? And then the truth comes out. It's at 7 cents. It is not up at all. Okay, and there's no reason for it to be up. Upstart itself is down 3.5%. But this was on my watch list for the longest time, and it kept going up like crazy. And I was like, all right, so something must be up. But it's not a flaw you can actually abuse in any way whatsoever. All right, time to focus. Let's see what I can find here. Facebook's not looking like it either. Apparently Neuro is breaking out. Let's see what that's looking like. Oh, this is breaking out. Wow. Holy shit. It's been a while. Neuro used to pop off like crazy quite a bit. So I'm not sure how much more this is going to go, but let's see. Damn, GameStop getting wrecked. Looks like everyone's done pumping GameStop. GameStop puts, I'm not sure if I want to get GameStop puts, not really my style. This look is still falling. Okay. So what's happening? These guys are actually going up. Take two is still looking like it's up there. EA is going down. Oh, this is so okay. So this is a terrible chart right here. This looks like in the next few weeks, EA is going to be falling like crazy. Ford is falling a little right now. Tesla trying, really trying. They're just sitting there. What? Neuro breakout is working. I'm not gonna get in it now because you just end up being a bad holder, but Neuro is starting to go. Halted at 6.8. Very nice. I'm not gonna join that though. Just need one good play to join. One play that can take me up 100%. And again, today might not be the day because it was a 3-day weekend, so now things are just looking shitty. I have enough funding now to be able to drop any of these averages big time. Like really, really big time. 13,020 cents, right? That'll give me 20,000 MedX. And all I would need it to do is go above 20 cents, which again, we would depend on when this would actually happen. It would still be a pretty non-confident move though. So I really want to spend some of this funding into this, but not really. Is Microsoft gonna bust up now? It's looking like it's going. It is going. Maybe Microsoft's turn to bust out. SPY falling. This should be going to zero soon. QQQ curling. I mean, if SPY starts curling all of a sudden, I would pick up a shit ton of this. Holy fuck. But I don't imagine that's happening today. The pre-market movers are the only ones that are happy, and they're not really looking too happy anymore about anything. Did Nero pop off more? Still halted. Still halted. Oh man, so dull. The markets are so dull. There's really not much happening. I wonder. If fun is up, is DWAC moving again? So a goal in my Discord has been to be able to make at least 100 every day. Right? Like every day of trading, I'll be able to make at least $100. DWAC has been trying to do its shift for the last week, popping off of 50 to 76. Very nice. And it is going again, but I think that's about all it'll go. At most, maybe it'll come to 77. Or if something wild happens, then that's different. But basically, that's done going. These are the three I have heavy: B Square, MetaX, ZOM. I have heavy counts of. I have heavy positions in them. Just been averaging them down, trying to get rid of it all, but we're waiting. Looks like BBIG also did hit $5. Did it? Let me see. Neuro and BBIG. Just like before, yeah, here we are. It's $5. Well, it doesn't look like much is happening today, so I'm gonna hop off, give it a little break, maybe see how things change around noon, and then go back to trading. And I will let people know what plays I make in the Discord, and hopefully you guys can join in and we can get something big going on. Thanks a lot for joining for today, and I'll see you guys later.